Well, hello my friends. I started this recording a little while ago to realize that I have had a bad video card, and then I started recording again after a few tries, and I was doing internal memory. So I'm back to another card and recording on video card. So anyway, I decided to do something completely different today. Something that normally we look at a blank and we say, well, there's only one thing we can do out of this. As a matter of fact, it's something that I did with my friend Jim, who came to visit and get a few tips from me. And he was giving me some beautiful, beautiful woods. And, you know, I looked and grateful, of course, and I was like, oh, that's beautiful. But I made the reference. It's like, you know, you get something like this, you put it on the lathe, you know exactly what you're going to get out of it. It's a bowl. And that is what today's turning is about. Showing that it's not necessarily a bowl unless you make it a bowl. So I decided to put something on a lathe. It was not quite as thick as this one. This one has, I know what's going to be this one. And it's not going to be a bowl either. But I have a piece on a lathe from the same tree, and that's where I'm going. Now, I started chewing it up, like I said, recording on the internal memory. So I will see if I can retrieve it. I usually don't bring the cameras to the computer. I just bring the video card, and generally I bring the video card with me to work so I can edit the video while I'm at work at the hotel. So I don't know exactly what I'm going to do with this one, but anyway, I'll see if I can retrieve what's inside for the matter of this recording. So let me get you to the lathe and see what I've done so far. Well, what I've done so far is I chewed up this side and I created a little bit of a tenon here. I decided to orient it where I had the outside of the tree, the two parts with the sap on the outside. I mean, I could change it at this point still, but I decided on that early on because I wanted this to be the base and this to be the top. Now, it would not matter which one is the base, which one is the top, but I already had started making a tenon for it because that was going to be the base. This is going to be a vase. So let's see where I can bring this. Now, this, in my mind, right at the beginning, before I put this on, I was thinking, okay, this is straightforward. It's really not complicated. Actually, it turned out to be a lot more complex than what I thought it was going to be, for the simple fact that, well, and it still would be, because it's not exactly as straightforward. And there's a couple of tricks I can do to make it a little bit easier. So anyway, let me complete this running the outside. I'll probably end up making a brand new tenon on this once all said and done, because I had to modify the direction I'm going, because I realized that what I wanted to do is probably not doable on a lathe. Now, one thing I realized, the black walnut actually has a smell that's not very pleasant. And I did not know that. But it does cut beautiful. Of course, the way it is right now, I can't possibly put it in on my jaws like that. So what I have to do is take this down to about here. I will use the same center and screw up the bottom. And then I will do something with the sides. So I figured that the base will be right around here, and it's not going to catch the jaws all the way around, but it will give me something decent to grip. Then at the end, I will take off the tenon completely. But I think that's what I need right there. How am I doing on this? I can chew this up, finish this off. A little bit true on both sides. But for now, actually I'm going to do that real quick. Well, it did not turn out the way that I wanted it to. The idea is a little challenging to really to modify and to do different shapes with this. Being that it's on a lathe, you're very limited on what you can do, and setting it up for it to spin this way, really, and then to get this shape, you have to turn it this way on both sides. So it's a four directional turning, pretty much. And if you wanted to go another step on it, you could go where it would be eccentric between these two sides, so when you would hollow it out, you could actually bring it up. But way too much work to do something like this. The limitation on the mouth, I mean, it's pretty good. I'm pleased with the way the mouth looks. If I went any further this way, of course it would stop popping up on the sides. Now, if it popped up on the sides, what would it do? Would it be wasted? Well, it would definitely be something very different, which I have already done. Not necessarily in this disc, but I've done things where I had the sides literally opened up. Intentional. But this one, I really wanted something that was a little elegant. Can put a test tube type thing in there, even though it was hollowed out. It's not just drilled. And would look nice either with live flowers or some dry flowers without anything going in there. So it's another one for the turning. And of course the wood is black walnut. Now this is a little heavy. The black walnut is not dry. This was cut in April, or at least it was acquired in April. So we'll see what this one does after a couple of months. The bottom is nice and straight on the outside edges, but it's concaved in the middle, and that was achieved with my disc on my sander and just cleaning it up. So here we go. Black walnut disc vase. Hope you like it. Don't forget, if you haven't subscribed, subscribe to my channel and hit that bell so you can be notified of my upcoming videos. When they come out, you get a notice. And if you do like what I do, hit the like button and share it with your friends amongst the different medias, Facebook, Twitter, whatever you got, whatever you use. And that helps me along. That helps me quite a bit. It helps my channel grow, and if my channel grows, then I can probably dedicate a little bit more time to doing more and more turnings and upgrade my equipment, which does break down occasionally. The memory card on this one just let go at the beginning of this, so the camera would not recognize it, brought it inside, the computer would not recognize it, so these memory cards go bad. I've been looking at cameras to upgrade the one that's behind me, which is does not record at 1080p. So with the help that I get from the support on my channel, I usually buy equipment, whether if it's recording for better pleasure or tools to upgrade the shop and give you different variables and different things I do. If you know me, you know that I don't splurge highly. I don't endorse specific name brands. I like sticking with the basics, and the reason why I do that is not that the good and quality tools aren't better than the cheapies. The only reason why I do that is because I don't want anybody to get scared of starting this beautiful hobby. So therefore I continue and using some very, very low-end tools and some very modest, slightly better tools in my shop. So if you are intrigued to go out and buy a lathe, and watch my channel, because I will guide you. I guide you in different ways of how you can buy cheap, you can upgrade. Eventually you can do things to your lathe to customize it once you know you like it. I've been turning on this lathe. Well, this one has been 3 different from the other one that I was using for 2 years. I upgraded this one just because I thought it was a little bit heavier, but either or, they both were done. The pleasure was the same on either one of the lathes. And the upgrades I did to them were identical. What I did here, I did to my original first lathe, which was the Atlas. So I guide you a little bit on what type of lathes to buy and what tools, what could you expect to spend on wood turning. There are certain things that you need to have if you're doing wood turning. There are certain things that you just like to have. So I distinguish throughout my videos. I don't think I have a video that specifically points out all the must. I thought I recorded one, but I'm not sure. Of all the must-haves and the wants. And I know I've had discussions on different lathes, which you can buy all the way from $200 less in some cases and up. And you know, you buy what you, I mean, basically what's in your budget. If you want to spend $7,000-8,000 on a lathe, you know, they're there. You can spend that type of money. But I would hate to see anybody not turn because they think that that's the only option they have, or to have somebody go out and spend that type of money and then realize that they lost interest on the hobby. To me, there's no such thing as losing interest on this hobby. You can get a little block where you're stuck and you don't know what to turn if you're looking for turning different things, but there's always something to turn. If you have wood, you have something to turn. And it doesn't matter whether if it's boards cut up flat, or a tree that the neighbor cut down, a branch, you know, a mediocre twig, a big stump, whatever it is that's wood can be turned on the lathe. All you need is a little imagination and the desire. So with me, I don't know what I would be doing if I did not have a lathe. Because even though I got all these tools over here, I discovered the lathe and I don't use any of those other tools. The lathe is my go-to tool for enjoyment, pleasure, and producing something that in most cases, I'm really pleased with. And in a lot of cases, you guys are the drive behind this, that you are more pleased than generally I am. I say something is okay, and you know, you guys say, well, you're being too hard. What do you mean it's okay? It's great. If I say it's okay, and I posted, it's because it's probably okay. I mean, you know, I don't try to come across as me knowing better than you do or the next guy. What I do is what I do. What I show mishaps, I show good results, I show good methods, good techniques to follow, but I do show that I am not looking for that ultimate perfection. And you know, what I'm getting out of my lathe, it's like, oh my God, so therefore it's always an okay piece, or 99% is just an okay and nothing more than that. In this case, it's okay. It's a different design. I wasn't sure exactly how I was going to do this. I probably could have left this bottom slightly a little bit more round, but there's a drawback to that. This would become thinner. As it was, I had to mount it to hollow it out, and I was only gripping on the two ends of the tenon. I did not have a tenon beyond that. It was already off from here and here. So, you know, that's the drawback, and that's what kind of forced me to go up a little bit. In hindsight, next time, I probably would have kept this down a slight bit, and the tenon, even if you're catching just on the two ends, it will hold if you're not being Superman and making this thing go 1,000, 2,000 RPM. This thing runs slow all the way through. All the way through. Sometimes I will see somebody that will post something, a bowl in their possession that they were finishing or they were turning in multiple pieces. I've done that plenty of times. But 99% of those times that I've had mishaps is or was because I was going too fast. Fast is not your friend, only to some extent of getting clean cuts and stuff like that. But speed is your worst enemy. It will make your pieces blow apart. You put yourself in great risk and danger being in front of the lathe. So therefore my motto is turn slow, you'll get it done. You'll get it there. Turn fast and beware, because you don't know where that thing could go. And things that are right off the bat that have smooth grain and you think, oh, this is going to be a beautiful piece, you know, no knots, no nothing like that, those are the worst ones. If the grain is too straight and too uniform, that's the ones that can actually split up on you. It can go right between the veins, the growth rings of the tree. So be careful. Be careful, turn slow. I mean, that's my thing all the time, is slow down. You know the song, slow down, you move too fast. You gotta make the morning last time. Anyway, thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.